And a pleasant good afternoon to everybody out there listening in Radioland. My name is Milton Eugene. Went well. Unfortunately, we do have some things to discuss, and we did not go as great as we wanted to start with the word of the day. And the word of the day is kind of something that we need to get together with all of us. The word of today is going to be harmony. Harmony in music is the process by which composition of individual sounds or superpositions of sounds is analyzed by hearing. Usually, this means simultaneously occurring frequencies, pitches, tones, notes, or chords. Harmony is the combination of simultaneously sounding music notes to produce a pleasing effect. Harmony is the quality of forming a pleasing and consistent whole. Harmony is the state of being in agreement or concord. Harmony is euphony, consonance, tunefulness, melodiousness. Harmony is concord, accord, agreement, peace, peacefulness, amity, friendship, fellowship, camaraderie, solidarity, cooperation, understanding, consensus, unity, sympathy, rapport, goodwill, like-mindedness, unison, union, concert, oneness, synthesis, concurrence. Harmony is balance, symmetry, congruity, consonance, coordination, blending, correspondence, capability. Harmony is a pleasing arrangement of parts in congruence. Harmony is eternal calm, tranquility. Harmony is an accords into a single narrative agreement. Harmony is balance, coherence, consonance, orchestration, proportion, symmetry, symphony. Harmony is unity. Harmony is an orderly or pleasing combination of elements in a whole, causing balance. Harmony is a relationship in which various components exist together without destroying one another. Harmony is a relationship characterized by the lack of conflict or disagreement as of opinions with the same interest. Harmony is agreement in action, opinions, feelings, accord, and order or congruity of parts of the whole with one another. Harmony is compatibility of existence or performing in agreement or congenial combination, congruence, congruity, the quality of agreeing, being suitable and appropriate. Harmony is relations free from dispute. Harmony is a state or atmosphere of harmony or mutual civility and respect. Harmony is cohesion of people's opinions, actions, or character. Harmony is agreement of opinions, the act or state of agreeing or confirming. Harmony is mutual understanding, rapport, tune, unity, meeting of the minds. Harmony is satisfying arrangement and even distribution of elements as one design. Harmony is without disagreement or bad feeling. Harmony is the just adaptation of parts to each other in any system or combination of things, or in things or things intended to form a connected whole, such as an agreement between different parts of a design or composition as to produce unity of effect, as the balance of the universe. Harmony is a process of valuing, expressing, and promoting love, trust, admiration, peace, harmony, generosity, and equity upon other people in any particular social society, regardless of national origin, weight, marital status, ethnicity, color, gender, race, age, and occupation. Harmony helps the citizens to abide by the law and respect the rights and freedoms of others as well. Peaceful living together, multiple races, religions, nationalities in society. Harmony is the mutual respect and interaction among diverse groups. Harmony is holy and beloved, compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, patience, bearing with others, and if one has a complaint against the other, forgiving each other as we have been forgiven at one time or the other. Harmony must forgive, and above all things, put love, which binds everything together in perfect balance. Again, today we spoke about harmony, and that is something that I think we're going to need throughout the community. Harmony to get us through this situation. Roy, I believe you have a link to the thing.
And now is our message. This is our
We're
message.
talking
We're
about
talking about
social
social
engagement.
engagement.
Social
Social
engagement is a
engagement is
form
a
of
form of
validation of
validation of
social
social
outreach and
outreach and
presence,
presence,
variety,
variety,
or
or
various
various
social and
social and
interactive
interactive
platforms
platforms
through the
through
forms
the
of
forms of
social
social
acknowledgement,
acknowledgement engagement included
the
the
included
included
audience,
audience,
participation,
participation,
viral
verbal
presence,
presence,
emotional
emotional
connection,
connection,
which
which
contributes
contribute
towards a
towards a
form
form
of
of
reaction.
reaction.
The goal
The
is to
goal is to
capture the
capture the
attention of the
attention of the
audience
audience
so that they
so
can
that they can
compel to
compel to
respond.
respond.
Social
Social
engagement is a
engagement
great
is a
way to
great way to
measure
measure
whether the
whether the
content
content
you're
you're
creating is
creating is
resonating
resonating
with your
with your
audience.
audience.
But that is
But
not
that is
all
not all
it's good
it's
for.
good for.
Social
Social
engagement and
engagement and
interacting with
interactive
people is
people is
associated with a
associated
great
with a
sense of
great sense of
well-being.
well-being.
Social
Social
engagement builds
engagement builds
relationships and bonds. Social engagement provide a direct line to target an audience and enable us to build relationships, develop empathy, and ultimately build a better product for our users or receivers. In social engagement, everyone likes to feel important. People love conversation and spending time engaging. Or anyone who will listen will help build relationships and forward your positive agenda. Keep an eye on what is going on in the surrounding areas of or your community. Current events are great conversation starters, especially if the events directly affect the community or target audiences. Develop a personality or unique voice for the message. Personality and voice highlighting audience trust when the community is engaged and interacting frequently with the communicator. And that's the social engagement for this week.
Again, another important tool that we're going to need in the community as we try to get past events of this weekend over on the island is the big on the St. Croix. Again, I'm looking at the newspaper, and the newspaper says 5 dead, 8 wounded in less than 48 hours. I'm reading the newspaper. We were moving forward, and we were doing so good in terms of how we were respecting one another, of the individuals who have had to endure and suffer through this situation, whether directly or indirectly in any way, shape, or form. Captain Colburn?
Yes, I would like the listening audience to know who is on tonight. Um, Again, my heart cries out to those, as Sergeant Peterson stated, who, whether near, close, or far, or whatever, we all have been impacted by what we heard over the weekend. It's nothing that we want to go through. It's nothing that we want any of our residents within this Virgin Islands to go through. And it saddened me. And we have a lot of people that is online tonight to talk, so we can have the discussion as to how we can change the path or the mindset of those who feel that hurting others solves situations, which it doesn't. Again, I'm Captain Sandra Colburn. I am in charge of the Virgin Islands Police Department. Crime Prevention Bureau. We have Sergeant Peterson, as you already heard. We have Police Sergeant Samuel Gittins online right now, along with Miss Leslie Webb Keith of the Victims Advocate. She is assigned to the Victims Advocate District in St. Croix. We also have Bishop Samuel Weeks of the Paradise Covenant Ministry. He's here in the studio with us. He's all the way over to the right-hand side of me. We have Eugene Farrell of the Institute for Social Change. He's here. I would like him to say a few words about the Institute, and we will get into our conversation. I have here Roy Chesterfield, retired police sergeant. Every week he's here with us. We have, hold on. We have Mr. Barnett. He is online. Thank you for coming. He's part of Human Resources, the behavioral side of the agency. I'm glad that you're on. You're an intricate part in our community, serving our community. Yes. Police Sergeant Samuel Gittins. He is our counterpart on the island of St. Croix. Thank you all for, I hope I didn't leave anyone else out. Eugene Farrell.
Again, Eugene, you could say a few words to the listening audience.
Yes, good evening. I am Eugene Farrell, the chairman of the Institute for Social Change. We would like, our board of directors would like to say a vote of condolences to the family members that suffered those tragedies this weekend. It's really hard to lose someone, especially in the light of gun violence. It's disheartening for our community because at this point in time, we are reaching out to try to find solutions to these problems. We're trying to find out why these crimes continue to happen. We could, point fingers at a host of things, but again, it has to be a community effort to basically stall these crimes, stall this gun violence, stall this gun play. We have to find solutions to these problems, and I think we can find the solutions to the problems. So I'm here with the police department and the crime prevention unit. We work closely with them, and hopefully this evening we could have a conversation that the community can take away some of the initiatives and things that they're trying to do to reduce crime.
Again, with all that has happened over the weekend, it is unimaginable that this would have happened. We have got to do better. We have got to. This is a breakdown in communication. a breakdown in respect for one another. This not only disrupts the life of the community, it disrupts the quality of life, it disrupts us in so many ways. Okay, financially, it disrupts us. We have COVID going on. This is the last thing that we need in any headlines or in any situation to affect us. Most of what we are counting on right now is traffic through the airports. We have no tourist ship coming in. The last thing they want to know is not only we may be all right with COVID, our COVID numbers, but now we have gun violence. So if COVID don't get you, then murders in the Virgin Islands will. This is something that we just don't want. We can't have this.
No.
Okay, we have a very fragile economy right now. We don't need this. We just don't need this at this point. Okay, and I know when they have these shootings, you start to hear about retaliation and who can get back who and who come, and you start to hear all of these things. And this is something that need to get nipped in the butt and stopped and immediately. Roy?
Yeah. And one of the things that when I look at homicide, and we could always look at homicide and say, well, it all has a motive or connection. And the thing what was interesting is that the first homicide happened, I think it was in St. John, and I think that struck everyone because the island and St. John don't normally have these type of behaviors. And then we had another incident on our sister island, St. Croix. And then over the weekend, we had an incident where elderly female was shot and killed. And so we don't normally see those kind of incidents where someone will go into a house and actually, shoot and kill someone. So that was kind of disheartening to hear that that type of behavior now is escalating on our island, in our territory. And then a couple of minutes later, an hour later, you had a variety of shootings in different areas in St. Croix. And so we want to know what are we a challenge with? What is the problems that we foresee here in the Virgin Islands? How it's impacting the lives of everyone. The family is the victim. Even the perpetrator that commit the crime, he is now going to become a victim. And this is what we're seeing over and over because of the retaliative type method that is taking place in our territory. Again, how are we going to address this? So first we have to target, we got to go to the victim and get a history of the victim, find out what is going on, what happened with the victim, and what caused the victim to become a victim. And so we have to narrow it down in order to bridge the gap to find out who is the perpetrator. Because we have to do a profile and a history on the victim in order for us to have a clear picture of what's really going on and what caused his death. So we have to narrow these things down and try to stop any further retaliation before it proliferate or escalate. So we need the victim's family to really come forward and assist the police department or law enforcement in helping to curb any more or to try to get the cooperation from all the families of these victims to come forward and participate in bringing these perpetrators to justice. And this is how we will start to see a trend in the downward movement when it comes to retaliative measures. So again, we need to target the victim. We need to find out, do a profile on the victim, find out what he was involved in, who he was involved in, where he hangs out, his friends, do a full, complete profile on the victim. And then we target the victim's family, and we could start to connect the dots. And I think that's how we need to start going. Because we have a kind of senseless territory where nobody don't want to say anything. They may have information, but people are reluctant to talk to the police. People are reluctant to say because they don't want to be pinpointed, they don't want to be targeted that they are so-called phrase rat. They don't want to be labeled as a rat or given information. For some reason, that stigma have kind of worked against our community with this type of mentality that you don't want to become a rat. And it's not becoming a rat because look at it this way. If you have information and don't pass that information on, disseminate that information where the sources need to go to bring the perpetrators to justice. Maybe your child or children or family member might be the next victim. So we need to start looking at it holistically and not just personally. I don't want to get involved because it ain't mine, it ain't me, it ain't my family involved. But who knows? The next victim could be, well, you. This is how it is. It could be, well, you. It could be, well, a family member, a son, a daughter, a nephew, you know. It could be somebody that is close to you that have a great impact. And I always say, if the crime happened to you and affect you, you would like someone to come out and give information in regardless who is the perpetrator to bring them to justice. And we need to start to look at that area as a solution to solving some of these crimes.
I really can't fathom, I'm trying to come to grips with somebody 66 years old, somebody's mother.
Mm-hmm. Grandmother.
This is a situation where, I'm trying to get somebody, and it don't matter who I get, if I get your mother, your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, whoever it is I have to get. We can't have that level of hate coursing through our community. We can't have that level of disagreement. But we have been, all are we related in one way, one shape, one form or the other. This 66-year-old lady, no. It's unconscionable. Pastor Weeks?
Well, good evening. Bishop Weeks from the Virgin Islands Clergy Peace Coalition. My heart goes out to the family, and let me say condolences on behalf of the pastors. Today, I want to reach out to us, pastors. It is time for us to unite and preach one message.
Yep.
We cannot afford to have this in our community. It's not only affecting the family, but it affects the entire village. It affects the church. It affects us. And so when we start to see these things happen in our community, and we ask the question why, because we as pastors see everybody more often than anything else. We have them in our churches. If we would start reaching out to them, the family, and figure out what is really going on, what is your issues, why are you hurting? Because this is so senseless to me when I got the call and hear what's going on in our sister island. This is not about St. Croix. This is about the Virgin Islands. But when we see the headlines, I got called Sunday from Switzerland, Africa. That's how important the VI is. And we have people all over. And when I get a call from Africa, and this got to stop. Pastors, we have to step up our game. Can I say this? There are much of us, even in the VI, that are looking for the norm to come back. Can we get over that? This is the norm. And we do not want our norm from the VI to be the murder capital per capita in the West Indies or the Caribbean. We have too much to gain to lose. And so therefore, I really, really and truly again want to reach out to the family and let you know that we will do all that we can do as pastors to reach out to your family. I thank God for Mrs. Webb, Leslie Webb, I think she's on,
Yeah, she's right
and Mrs. Lambertis, that we just being there is good, but there is only so much we can do, but we need to reach out even more. And I want to challenge the pastors today, from my point of view, from over here in St. Thomas. I want to challenge us that we get so busy doing us that we need to get busy doing community. The Bible tells us, God said, go into all the world and preach the gospel. See, when we take care of our community will take care of us.
Yes.
Cap, I want to see if we got get in St. Croix now on the conversation
yes.
to see what we're
Barlett,
doing.
Mr. Barlett, we would like to hear from you, please.
I'm right here. So good afternoon, good evening to everyone within the sound of my voice. I would really like to say that I am appreciative for this format. I'm appreciative of the panel that's here today. And I would like the persons to, first and foremost, come to terms with what happened. A lot of people are still in disbelief. First and foremost, you have to come to terms with this tragedy did happen, it did occur. There's massive loss, there's massive trauma, did occur in our community, and we need to first recognize it as a trauma. Don't recognize it as, that's just how it is, that's our way of life. Like we say, this is not our norm. This is no one's norm. This is way outside of the norm, okay? So first and foremost, we need to recognize that this is not normal behavior. It's decades old, but it is not normal, and we need to get to a point where we can pinpoint and point out why it's not normal and how it affects not just, like we say, the primary victim, which is the elderly lady who lost her life, but the secondary victims and the tertiary victims, the persons who are witnessing violence in their community and now are delving into a life of anxiety. You could be a neighbor and you can be a victim, because now every time a car passes your house at a certain time of the night, you get anxious. You get up at 3 a.m. to check your doors and check your windows, and that's your life for like the next 10, 15 years. That becomes your norm, and that affects you in such a way that you don't even recognize the deterioration of your mental state over time, and the deterioration of everyone else's mental state around you in trying to support and trying to cope. And so, as the perpetrators, I would like everyone within the sound of my voice, if you're involved, if you know someone who's involved, think about you and your pebble, okay? Your pebble is your effect in your community. And if you would like to take that pebble and create positive and influential ripples, you drop that pebble in that water, you put that information out there, you put yourself out there, and you take that risk and you let that person know, listen, I don't agree with what you're doing, or I don't support your way of life anymore, okay? Let this be a wake-up call to everyone in the community that, you no longer have an advocate in the silence that is the norm. You no longer have safe haven in people not speaking up and people being comfortable with this. So, let this be a wake-up call to everyone. Now is the time. Now is the time to be brave. Now is the time to engage. Now is the time to be open to therapy and be open talking about how you feel. Now is the time.
Victim advocate from St. Croix, Ms. Leslie Webb. Keith, could you say a few words first, please, and talk about this incident?
Good evening. And it's not just this incident, it's a whole weekend of trauma for a whole lot of different people. I'm in the middle of it. I'm trying to speak to all of the families, and each family member is reacting to this differently. And I have to be able to reach them so that they could hear that there is help for them in their trauma. There's a lot of things that they have to deal with at this time. They have to bury my child. I have to bury my grandmother. I have to find the money. During this time of COVID, nobody has money. Now they got to bury a loved one. It's a lot of things going through their head, and I'm trying to help each and every one of those 13 people that got traumatized in whatever way they need the help. And not only those 13 people, the whole family. So I'm so very grateful for everybody that has come forward and said, hey, let me help, let me help. And a lot of the community people did come through to say, let me help, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Martin.
And one of the points that Ms. Leslie Webb Keith brought up, imagine if you have 13 people, she said, 13 people. And imagine each of those 13 people having a minimum of 10 direct family members affected. Now that gives Ms. Leslie Webb Keith, if I'm not right, 130 cases of individuals who've been traumatized or affected, and it's just the immediate families.
Yes.
That doesn't have, we ain't throwing the kids,
No.
we ain't throwing the grandparents,
No.
the grandkids, we ain't throwing, we just throwing in 10 immediate family members times 13. Okay? And this is the type of trauma, okay, that it affects. It just doesn't affect those people who were shot or killed. It affects a greater picture.
Yep.
And take those 130 people and take the financial burden that is now put upon them to deal with the situation. I couldn't have said it better. Okay?
Yeah, you have Sergeant Giddens.
We have Sergeant Gittens over on St. Croix. Could you say something as to the situation?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, audience. I'm Sergeant Giddens from St. Croix. Yeah, we have suffered a great loss on the territory. We also felt the pain in the police department of having to notify and inform people of this tragedy. We are hoping that and calling on the community to take action. This is not something that happened in isolation, to say. The guns, those people who collect guns, those people who transport guns, those that involve, got friends and families as well. To avoid these things, we just got to get rid of them. We got to have them donate, turn in their weapons. We need them to stop bringing in weapons. And we need to let their family members know that you're not going to tolerate guns and ammunition in their homes. They need to do something about it. We feel for the families that suffered the loss. We understand their pain. But we need to stop it from happening. We keep saying it over and over again. We sympathize, we feel for you. But we need to stop having this. If we really care and really feel for each other, then let's stop it. Get rid of the guns. Turn in your son, daughter, whoever's had this gun issues, turn them in. Everybody say, oh, you can't turn in your family member. What will happen next? You don't turn them in, they have two choices. They're going to go to jail or they're going to grave. You got to stop this. It's no longer anything of a discussion. We know what's happening with it. We know the consequences from these actions. We know how it affects the families that we're mentioning, just some of the people that it affects. This is a sudden change in your life. You had a friend, you had a family member, now they're gone. Why? An argument? You get your feelings hurt? So you turn around and pull a gun. This is the kind of thing we're doing. This is not right. We are the ones that make these guns. And the people that make these guns ain't care about us. The people that make these ammunition don't care about us. This is us. We the Virgin Islanders. We the people of color here. We the so-called minorities are feeling it the most. And we're paying a price. A very high price. Black lives matter. If we matter, why are we doing this to each other? Why are we doing this to ourselves? We need to get rid of this nonsense. It's a mindset that we need to change. Bob Barney said, you got to emancipate yourself from this mental slavery. This is a bigger man or something. That's nonsense. You're going to go to the jail, you'll go to the grave. For what? Ladies and gentlemen, it's part time classmates, all of we that come from Arthur Richards Junior High School to finish school where we there now. It's our children, our classmates' children, our friends and family that we went to school with that's involved in these things. If we wanted to stop, we have to take the action. Don't wait for nobody else to come and do it for you. You know what needs to be done. You know who they are. They're wrong among us. They're the friends, family, and associates. Come on. We fix this thing and stop talking about it and do something. Take an action, an immediate action. Better to go visit them in the jail for a couple of years that they get rehabilitated than to have them go to jail. I went to the jail, but to the grave. I'll fix that. Thank you for my little moment there to me. Ease that off my chest.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant Gittins. And again, we've said this over and over, and I remember our shows last year, and I keep saying over and over and over again, there is more of us than it have of them out there. All we have to do is unite, have that same harmony that I'm talking about, be in this same one accord, and turn them in. I know some of them going to be family members, some of them going to be turn them in. And I'm not asking anybody to do anything that I haven't done, okay, this is my 33rd year. I ain't asking nobody to do something that I haven't done. I have arrested family members, I have turned in family members, I have do I have to do with family members who are becoming a plague in the street. So sometimes you see a last name, say Peterson in the newspaper. Yes.
Or Colburn.
Or Colburn. I think years ago in the 90s, you all remember Colburn? Okay, so there is always somebody related, and we did our due diligence.
Yeah.
Okay? We did our due diligence and we took care of it, and that's what we have more of us than they have them.
I think what's going on in this community is that instead of dealing with the issue, we like to put Band-Aids on it. We have white-collar crime being committed inside the government, and instead of we locking people up, we're creating laws to prevent them from going to jail. Okay?
Not good.
And this is now proliferating into the streets where violence is taking the lives. We have to pay. We have to pay. Either we're going to pay with dollars to get this problem fixed,
Yep.
or we're going to pay with blood. And that's what we're paying with right now. We're paying with blood. And is this community able to continue to pay with blood?
Nope.
Again, we know all, and I'll piggybacking off Sergeant Gittins, and I feel your passion. But again, it's a small group, like Sergeant Peterson say, that we could identify these players. But we got to ask ourselves why. Why is happening? Why these things happening? I always like to go to the seed of the problem, because when you start from the seed, you could walk your way up to the trees, to the leaves, and then you could kind of branch out and then figure out how things going. First, we have to analyze and make and connect the dots. You always hear me say connect the dots. These guys are empowered, and they are feel empowered because they know this community doesn't report any wrongdoing, any suspicious or legal activity. They know the community doesn't report it. So you build a culture of people being empowered by this criminal mindset. Again, it's hard to detour somebody's intent if you don't have nothing in place that will replace his mindset. So when you're talking spiritually, mentally, when you're talking about mental slavery, you have to reprogram and reprocess the way these guys with this unlawful intent, because we can't see someone's intent, and it's hard to break a person who already done subjected himself to that or indoctrinating himself to involve in a criminal element. But we have to take away the opportunity. We have to take away what empowering that individual so he could go out there and commit these senseless acts. And so this is how we have to move. And we have to educate the community about the three components of crime, that the intent, the ability, and the opportunity. We have to educate the community so they can know what caused a person to do what he's doing. Yes, the pandemic might be a big part of it. We don't have a lot of money circulating. We lost a lot of income. The economy is so and so. People lost in business and so on. We understand that. As the one brother talk about the people that going through this mental type behavior because of the stresses, the stress factor. Yes, because people grieving over a lot of things, and so therefore when you see these things happening, it builds a certain mindset to people. People become desperate, and so they look at what would be easier for them to make a living. And the criminal element is the easiest way someone could jump in and make quick dollars. Even though that they know the end result would be fatal, they still going to take the chance because right now they are desperate and they don't really care for their own life. They don't care for their own safety. So if they don't care about their own safety, who you think they're going to care about someone else's life? They don't care. So this is what we now have to start to educate the community about the intent of these guys and see how we could get more mentors in the community to talk to our youngsters.
And again, I keep telling you, it have more of us than it have of them.
True.
And this thing about ratting and talking and who you rat and me, they shooting you anyhow. Mm-hmm. You're getting shot anyhow, you're getting killed anyhow because this lady, 66 years old, she ain't rat at nobody. And she didn't lie at nobody, and she didn't trouble nobody. She didn't do nothing to nobody.
But that was a coward that did that to her, sir. Had to have been a coward.
So repeat that again?
I believe it would have been a coward to have to shoot a 66-year-old person in her home. It's a coward, a punk.
Again, who she rat on? Let me know, in the last 6 months, tell me of any report of anybody, something happened to somebody for ratting. In the last year, in the last year and a half, in the last 2 years, in the last 10 years, what happened to somebody in the Virgin Islands for ratting? Other than somebody went to jail. Nothing. This is just a little fable that they tell you about, oh, you're ratting, and this going to happen and that will happen. The only thing that happens is somebody goes to jail for doing something wrong.
That's right.
That's what happens for ratting. Okay? And you bring stability and you bring the word I said today, harmony into this community. That is what happens. Okay? When you do this ratting, you take those same ripples, okay? And you turn them into positive ripples, and you make a difference in this community. Okay? Roy talked about community today. He talked about what are those community engagement. Engage these guys. There's more we than them. We have nothing to be afraid of. Engage them. Stop it. If you know somebody got a gun in their house, rat them out. Let me get a warrant and go in there get it. And let me get the next one and the next one and the next one. If somebody have they go every day, you see them when they go in the car with a gun. Call us and let us know. Give us the license plate number. Give us everything. Empower us to stop them and
to understand Crime Stoppers. You need to understand how powerful Crime Stoppers is. Crime Stoppers is a tool. As you say, some people, I understand, some people are scared and they don't want to go to court. Oh, I don't need, okay. They don't want to go to court. That is why we have Crime Stoppers. For Crime Stoppers to get out there more often with us, to let the community understand we got the best tool ever. The same way that you will go and talk to a friend and tell them what occurred, you can call Crime Stoppers. Stop letting people tell you when you call, there's someone here in the Virgin Islands that's going to take your call and they're going to rat you out. A lie. Crime Stoppers, It is there. Individual utilize that too. People put money in there in order to bring down what's happening now. You call Crime Stopper, your information goes all the way to the States before it even comes back. You don't have to, and listen to the commercial. Listen to the commercial. You do not have to testify. We use your information and we do what we have to do. So if you have 10 people, 20 people calling into Crime Stoppers, and all of their stories, they're telling you exactly what occurred. You send whatever you have to send as a picture. You are not, and do not let anyone fool you and make you into a fool. You do not have to testify. All you need to do is use that apparatus or that app or whatever it is. Same way you pong melee, give it to them so that we can utilize it and we can solve the case. The more you tell us, the better we are to collect what we need to collect. It is there. Do not listen to the lies. They are liars. Call Crime Stoppers, give them what you know, and let us do what we have to do.
Well, Captain Coburn, Sergeant Peterson, and other panel guests, ones viewing on the teams. Now, we're talking to the individuals that have to help the police. But this message is for the ones, the shooters out there. Okay? This message is for the shooters. If you need help, if you want to get out, if you want to stop and you want to put a gun down, if you want to have a ceasefire, it's very easy. It's very easy. You can go to the police station, speak to the people in the crime prevention unit to get you where you need to go. Because I understand what's going on out here. And based on the incident that happened on St. Croix, we realized that one individual got into an altercation with another individual, left the scene, came back, and gunfight start.
Engage.
Okay? So that's telling me that we're walking around here with a lot of fear. If you're walking around the Virgin Islands with fear in your heart because you feel that somebody's going to make you a victim or you're a target, come to the police station, let them know that you want to get out of here, and we'll work to get you replaced. We'll put you someplace else so you can start a new life. But you cannot continue this life of shooting. You can't continue this life of violence because you're probably going to get away today. But tomorrow, and you don't know who's coming for you. Mm-hmm. You don't know who's coming for you. You may be looking to the left and you think it's the person on the left and somebody else ambush you from the right. So if you want to get out, come to the crime prevention unit. They'll contact the Institute for Social Change and we'll see what we could do to get you out of here. That's the simplest way. But we need to cease fire.
Eugene, as far as the Institute for Social Change, do you have any number that you could just put out that they can call, even if they don't want to deal with crime prevention, and a number where they can call the Institute for Social Change, get in contact with you, and even talk about getting some of your guys in there to do a ceasefire and stop this before it starts to escalate and we start to get into retaliations and I'm going to get you back. Because you know once that starts up, you know it'll be a problem.
Hello.
Well, the team has been trained to deal with this retaliatory action, right? And that's why we talk about, surrendering yourself, surrendering your weapon. But if you need help, you could give us a call at 340-642-9691 or
340-344-3745. And let me add, for those of you that are walking around in fear or feel that fear simply means, as I tell my church every Sunday, false evidence appearing real. If you affiliate with the church, or if your family affiliate with the church, go to your pastor. Tell your pastor what's going on in your life, and tell them how you feel about it and you want out. And contact your local pastor, and they will seek the help that you need. Again, you can call us at 340-344-3745.
And that's throughout the territory, correct? St. Thomas and St. John and St. Croix?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank
And
you.
I mean, Pastor,
Oh.
Pastor Weeks talked about...
Bartlett.
Oh, Bartlett, go ahead.
Bartlett.
Yes, while we were throwing out all that contact information, I wanted to put something out there as well. So, like you said, if persons are, in this life and they want out, or if you're in this life and you want answers as to, why you're in this life and how it's affected you and, what you can do to actually move towards becoming a more, functional and adaptive person in society, you can also reach out to any of our mental health clinics and the providers that are out there in the community, because I'll tell you one thing for a fact, in working with some of these individuals when they go to court and you get the pretrial intervention and they're sent to us, a lot of them actually like therapy, A lot of these guys who are out there like being able to sit and talk about what they've been through, because to talk about it with your boys, you kind of seem like a wuss. To talk about it with your girl, she might look at you like, you're not really this big bad man that I actually, like. So come to us and talk to us, because eventually you might find yourself not wanting to be in that life anymore, because you understand how it affects you negatively.
Nice.
So the Barbell Plaza location, 7700 Morris de Castro in St. John, 340-776-6400, or Charles Howard Clinic right there in Christensen, St. Croix. You can call 340-718-1311. And all the providers out there in the community, I'm going to name a few: Mind, Body, Health, and Psychology over there in St. Croix, Inside Psychological over here again in St. Thomas, and Greater Changes over there in St. Croix. And I definitely recommend Greater Changes, because that's a team of young men actually there as well. 2 females, 2 guys, but some young men my age. I'm 26, so my age group, they're positive, working in mental health. Let people know this, and you can change how you think. You can change how you look at the world.
Would you talk in terms of fear, like what Bishop Weeks were talking about, false evidence appearing real? That's what they're telling you about ratting. They're giving you false real. We've gone back, I've thought back, and we've gone back for 10 years, we've gone back, and I can't remember, you've been in previous administrations, you've been involved, okay? And I can't remember about anybody being handled in any way, shape, or form for ratting. And ain't ratting. It's because you ain't ratting.
No.
You're bringing out the truth.
The whole truth and nothing
And
but
nothing
the
but
truth.
the truth. This is what happened. This is what I saw. This is what he do. This is what she do. And that's it. And let the chips fall where they may. Okay? The chips will fall where they may.
And let me just say this, right? Our community is one of the only communities that I have lived in, and I've lived in several, where incidents happen and witnesses run. Okay? Incidents happen and witnesses run. In the United States, if a crime happens, and you know how come they're able to catch these criminals? Because the community is involved. The community is involved. So if we don't get involved, we're going to continue to suffer this bloodshed.
I mean, we go there and we have all kind of stuff on social media. We videotape, we record. We have such a way that people get out their phone and put the camera on quicker than our officer could get a weapon or taser out their waist. And we videotaping everything under the sun. Videotape these things and send them. Nobody ain't gonna notice you. We have all kind of way. Okay. Today there was a lady sending stuff to the station, harassing another lady over some guy, And she found a way, she blocked her number, she do this, she do that. So they have ways of sending out this information anonymous to the police or to somebody. Send it out, make sure it gets to us, record it, tape it, do what you got to do to make a change and to stop this and to bring the individuals to justice.
Yes.
That is all that we are asking. Okay?
That's it.
It's more of us than they have of them. Okay? And we have to be agents of change, all of us. Okay? Empower us, and we're going to take care of business after that, you know. Believe you me, we're going to take care of business after that. Okay, because it has some young police officers there, and they are excited. They want some of them just come out and they don't know how to do a warrant, they don't know how to do certain things, and they want to go there and learn how to do these things.
Yes.
So when you give us this information, those young officers are ready to go and they're ready to come out. They want to serve. Sometimes they don't got enough information and to move out and do the things they want to go in there. They want to bring in the criminals. They want to close cases and they want to make the place safer. It have them. They're young, they're motivated, they're energetic, and they're ready to go. Okay? And I mean, yes, I have 33 years now, Captain Copeland and I, and you're still going head to head. You still have my energy. I'm still ready to go.
Me too.
I am still ready to go. So you call and you send it forward, you put it to us, and we are ready to move forward. Captain Copeland?
Yeah, well, you said it all. You said it all as we all here, everyone here that is in the now for the community. The change is us. The change is us. There's more of us, and if we want those few to change, we're the ones who is going to have to say, enough is enough.
Sergeant Gittins on St. Croix, anything before we close out?
Yes, they want to say something. Yeah, Officer Richardson here. Officer Richardson, I just
Officer Richardson, please.
offer condolences to the families and the community that lost their loved ones. I also lost my son, and I just feel it for everybody. We just need to unify, come together and start doing something. Say something if you know something, people. And if the governors listen, we need to start locking up these guys and putting them where they need to be. And stop being friends with these guys. Stop giving them chances. Let's go out and do our jobs. Everybody. Understand? That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Webb, anything?
There are benefits to the families that can be obtained through a fund called Crime Victims Compensation. My phone number is 340-643-0295, or I'm located in the Frederiksted Police Station. You can call me and I'll help you in any way that you need help. I'll get you the mental health portion of it, or housing, whatever it is you need because of your victimization. Call me, 340-643-0295. Thank you.
Sergeant Gittins on St. Croix, anything you wanted to put on?
No, I have nothing else necessary to say. We did well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Roy, anything?
Finally, again, Crime Stoppers is a good supplemental tool to use for information. But remember, we are community connected. Police officers, law enforcement, we have families, we are part of the community as well. So reach out to one of your friends, your colleagues, reach out to a family member in the police department and call him, call her, and give them the information. If you don't feel safe to call any other sources, call a family member or a friend in the police department or any law enforcement so that that information could be disseminated to the area so they could investigate and bring the perpetrators to justice. So yes, we have Crime Stoppers as a lead, but let's work together as a community and share the information. Call a friend, call somebody in the police department that is a friend or a family member again, and share that information.
Mr. Eugene Farrell?
Yes, thank you for having me this evening, and I'd just like to say to the community, be your own hope. Be your own hope. Okay? Be the change that you want to see. Okay? Because we could do it as a community. We can't expect the police department to do it on their own, but be your own hope and be the change that you want to see.
Whatever we do, change our speaking, Let us change our habits so we can know our purpose in life in these Virgin Islands that we are living in. Let's make it our home. Beautiful Virgin Islands. There are a lot of people trying to come here to be here. We are here. Let us make it what it is. Beautiful paradise. God bless y'all.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are an extension. You are an extension. The whole community is an extension of the police department. You're the guys that empower us to do the job that we're able to do. We are not able to do anything that we're able to do without the community's help and support. We are going to move out there and we're going to do our part in what we have to do. And with the support and empowerment of the community, we are going to move forward. We've reached at that point now, so I'm going to indicate on behalf of the men and women in blue of Virgin Islands Police Department and Virgin Islands Police Department Crime Prevention Bureau, we want to thank you for tuning in to your Virgin Islands Police Department weekly radio show, Police, the Law and You. Remember, your questions and comments are important to us, so please contact us at sandra.colvourne@vipd.vi.gov or contact us at
340-244-6539.
Also 775-3445, Monday through Friday, and that's for the Crime Prevention Bureau. Additionally, you can give us any of your suggestions for topics you're interested in. The Police Department is here to serve you, so don't hesitate to call 911 for police assistance. Remember, always be aware of your surroundings. There are safety in numbers. Be a courteous driver and practice safe driving habits. If you see a space, plant something.
Plant a thing.
And one of the things I want you to plant is plant the information for us to solve these crimes.
Amen.
But that's the seed I want you to plant to deal with these situations. Okay? Preserve our culture and keep our culture alive. Again, truly and truly, okay, the only way we can know where we are going is by knowing where we came from, and through that knowledge, truly understand and know the direction in which we must go. I said, okay, be safe out there, everybody, and God bless.
Thank you.